I did the dumbest thing that any broke kid could do when they first become a millionaire. I told myself that I made it, and it was that lie that almost cost me everything. We all think the goal is to make it, until we do and realize that staying there is a whole different game. And the truth is, I was never qualified to lead a business. Everything that I built came from pain, trying to prove that I was smart and capable and good enough. And the moment I thought I finally earned that, I started protecting my image instead of doing the real work. You have been spending so much time trying to learn how to make it, you've probably never even thought about how hard it is not to lose it. And that's what no one prepares you for. So here's what I'm going to give you. 3 mindset shifts that every builder, creator, entrepreneur, whatever it is that you are, needs to make if you want to hold on to success without burning out or selling your soul. These are the shifts that not only saved my business, but honestly, they saved me too. Let's get into it. Mindset shift number 1. I first need to warn you, this can get pretty dark if you're not prepared for this, and it can really mess you up. So take this with the right amount of weight, and it will change how you move for the rest of your life. That mindset shift is that no one will remember you, whether it's in a generation or a decade or in a few weeks. Nobody's name lasts forever after we're gone. And that's not a tragedy, that is a gift. Make this shift and you can stop performing for legacy. You can stop performing to protect your image. And you can start doing the work that you actually decides matters to you, not to anybody else, not to your parents, not to the universe. Once nothing matters, the only things that matter are what you say they are. And they only matter because you say that they are. The seed of power sprouts from this nothingness. You see, we are no more than grains of sand on an infinite beach. Once I realized the need to be significant or remembered just stemmed from childhood pain, I was no longer blinded by the need to be impressive. I was no longer enslaved by my need to be useful. And I started listening to the quiet of my own mind. And what's more, is you'll stop doing things with the false hope of reciprocity. Because once you realize that you don't matter, other people don't matter, what they can do for you doesn't matter either. Not what they think about you, not what they say about you, and absolutely who cares what they can give you. This, my friends, is where real freedom begins. And mindset shift number 2 is that it's awesome sucking at stuff. Once you climb one mountain, you will get bored. Your instincts dull, your edges fade. If you're not being constantly challenged, you'll just decay in this comfort. But this is where most people go wrong. Most people never want to feel like they're at the bottom ever again because they remember how much that hurt the first time. So then that first success becomes a prison because now they're afraid of starting over. But the people who keep winning, they love the bottom. They chase friction, they reinvent, and not just in business. That's how they live. They don't protect their ego, they protect their edge. And mindset shift number 3 is that there is no destination, and the challenge is the way. Hate to break it to you, but there is no final form, no peak, no point where the work stops. Success isn't a finish line, it's a posture that you return to over and over again. The pressure never disappears, you just get better at carrying it. And you'll come to find that this resistance isn't a sign that something's wrong, it's proof that you're alive. There is no destination, just the practice of becoming every day. Now here's something that no one is qualified to tell you because very few people ever get here. The danger doesn't stop once you make it, it multiplies. Temptation rises, consequences delay, comfort's numb. And when you're broke, mistakes are loud. When you're successful, they whisper until it's too late. And what's worse is that success exposes you and that visibility creates enemies. Very rarely do people clap when you win. Even more so, there are people that are going to sleep at night dreaming of taking everything that you built instead of building something of their own. People on this planet are small, they're desperate, they're lonely, they feel like they're the hero of their story, and they feel entitled to what you have. Because not only did they not see your struggle, they have no context to know what it takes to be successful. They think it should come easy to them, and so they want what you have without working for it. Anyone who's ever worked for something real in their life does not want to take from someone else. They want to earn their own. They would feel like a shell to have someone else's windfall. But there are so many people on this planet who've never truly earned anything. And those are the most dangerous people out there. So know this, you paving the way doesn't just invite honest competition. It breeds a wake of envy full of predators, liars, and cheaters. Now, borrowing from mindset shift number 1, my losses really don't matter. So I saved them for the end of this video. But my story should help you understand the gravity of these lessons, how real these threats are, and how they can quietly unravel everything that you spent years building. After I told myself that I made it, I decided to take 3 years off from the business. And abruptly, I stopped showing up for meetings. I stopped leading the people that I spent years building them to who they are. I just abandoned the company. disappeared. And I told myself I deserved it. I told myself I was healing. I told myself I was finding myself, and that after everything that I've been through, decades of abuse and workaholism, that I just deserved a break. So I traveled and I wandered, and somewhere along the way, I fell in love for the first time in my life. And that's when everything that I was running from came up louder and grosser and uglier than ever before. Reared its ugly head. I realized that my childhood trauma was worse than I ever thought it was. That spiraled my identity, my relationship. I lost the love of my life. I slipped into 2 years of depression. I started drinking way more than I should have. And while all of that was happening, I ignored my empire and I let it slowly slip, quietly falling apart. I lost millions in the stock market, more on bad Airbnb properties. I almost lost the business, and I came so dangerously close to losing myself along the way. And I wish I could tell you I bounced back overnight, that I journaled my way out of it, and that one breakthrough turned everything around. But that's not what happened. What saved me was returning to the work, quietly, daily, one discipline at a time. Not because I wanted to, but I remembered who I once was. And I now knew who I never wanted to become. Success didn't betray me. It was comfort. And the only way that I found my way back was by earning it again. So if you're still chasing your first win, build with this in mind. And if you've already made it, don't get soft. Do not forget the pressure that made you great. Because if you let comfort lead, the fall won't come with fireworks. It will come quietly, very likely while you're looking the other way, living your best life. So stay sharp and stay dangerous, and never confuse a rival with immunity. If you're feeling me here, like we've got something in common, I'll put a video in the corner here so you can learn a little bit more about my past. Get to know me better. And thank you so much for watching this video all the way through to the end, my friends. As always, I will see you on the other side.